Trump's propaganda hour. We have to talk about it because it is just getting too silly, man. I don't know if you guys have seen these press conferences, dude, but they're not press conferences. It's just, it feels like a political party convention. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Trump has pushed out AP, the Associated Press, you know, an organization with reputable journalists, because they wouldn't agree across all their publications. They're an international publication, mind you, to change their definition of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America as the president has dictated it to be, because the rest of the world doesn't necessarily call it the Gulf of America. Right? Most of the world still calls it the Gulf of Mexico. But that was enough to kick AP out. Get out of the press pool. We don't want you here. Bye. Out now. Donald Trump has threatened the broadcasting licenses of news organizations that have released reports that are not flattering to him. He has threatened to sue pollsters that release polls that he doesn't like Ann Seltzer, who is going into retirement, mind you. It's not like, oh, we need to stop her from releasing more bad polls. She's retiring. He's retiring after the 2024 election. Hell, and this is not even like a new trend. Trump wanted to sue Bill Maher for jokes before he was even president. Way back before he was even really in politics like he is now. So Trump is somebody who has wanted to use whatever method he can to try to control the narrative through his own actions and through trying to abuse the legal system, abuse lawsuits, and shut people up however he can. Shut those who are critical up and get those who are not so critical of him louder and louder. And so we're replacing real journalists with the press pool, and we're replacing real press conferences where we can ask questions like, hey, so Mr. President, consumer confidence is at a all-time low. It's really low. We have the same consumer confidence we had like during COVID. We have investor confidence. It's wrecking. I mean, you know, things are not looking good. I mean, we have McDonald's reporting the largest sales decline since 2020. We have, my gosh, like the last boats without tariffed goods are leaving China. GM just slashed guidances due to a $5 billion hit from the tariffs. My goodness. My goodness. So instead of having any of those questions, we get these with the new alt media commentators they have dragged into the White House to ask important questions. Now, mind you, these are all YouTubers and people on Twitter and people on social media. These are alt media commentators. These are not Fox News, CNN, CNBC, you know, no. This is alt media commentators. You get a chance to ask the press secretary a real question. What do these people do? They're finally given a moment to show what they could do better than the mainstream press. And this is what we get. Let's check this out. This is one of the people they decided to bring in, asking a question. I want to show you who the guy is that the Trump administration wants asking questions instead of the Associated Press. Let's start with the question, which is actually the mildest, the least bad of all the questions asked, honestly. But it's the person, in this case, that I'm more interested in. Listen to the question first.
I was wondering if you'd indulge me in a quick round of Trump trolling or Trump truthing.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, good.
Love it.
Rapid fire. Greenland joining America.
Definitely Trump truthing.
Oh. Canada becoming a 51st state.
Trump truthing all the way. And the Canadians would...
You know, by the way, when that dude's like dancing about that, let's be clear. Are you ready to send young boys off to die to get them? Because the Canadians, from their elections, make clear they're not going to become a 51st state unless Donald Trump does it by force. So unless you're willing to send young men to die so you can be the president's, like, twink in chief, then do that. But you don't have to do it with such a smug look on your face.
benefit greatly, let me tell you that.
Eliminating the IRS?
I think that is an optimistic goal, and the president, so I would say we're on the side of truthing there for sure, and the president, again, wants to see tax cuts, and he wants to see this massive revenue that we can gain from tariffs as well, which will create the external revenue service, so that's a definitive goal for sure.
And most importantly, Trump 2028.
Trump trolling, although the hats are flying off the shelves. Yes.
I don't know if he's trolling with that one, honestly. But the fact that she's saying he's truthing about the annexation of Greenland, annexation of this, again, Trump's an empire builder. Trump wants a military-industrial complex, an empire built around him. He is not the anti-interventionist that many of his supporters have led us to believe on the campaign trail. But that's not what today's discussion's about. Today's discussion is about the clowns and psychopaths and degenerates that they let into this room. Listen to what this guy, Brandon Dilly is his name, by the way, the person that they think is more important to be in there than the Associated Press. Listen to what he said about him being ready to be given the green light to go gun down Americans.
Pray to God, and I mean this literally, or whoever the fuck it is you pray to, okay? That Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, and Attorney General Barr clean this up lawfully. Because if for any reason the President of the United States feels that it's not getting done the way it should and decides to put out the tweet that says, my fellow Americans, my fellow 2A loving Americans, it's time to take up arms against these assholes, you are all fucked in under an hour. Under 1 hour, you're done. Every one of you. We're all just at home, hanging out, or we're on vacation like me right now, watching you idiots behave the way you do, waiting for that one tweet, that one emergency text message from the fucking President of the United States that gives us the green light to finish this entire thing in under an hour. It will not be law enforcement. It will not be one of these slow, bureaucratic justice system wheels of justice turning. It'll be a group of people you didn't even know fucking existed because we were at our houses, we got off work, we were with our families, but we were ready for that call. And if that call ever does come, you will be fucked 7 ways from Sunday. So I suggest you back down.
So they heard this guy saying, if you guys don't do what Trump wants with his agenda, and he calls for us to go solve the problem with violence, pick up guns, I'll do it. I'll do it. Screw the Constitution, screw the system, screw checks and balances, screw anything that we've enshrined since 1776. And I mean, we have, and this is a really special thing in this country, we have the longest continuing in use Constitution in the world. I don't know if you guys know that. We have that. That's really special that we've been able to do that. That's an accomplishment that we've had as a country. This guy is willing to shoot it up for the New York socialite. And he is more important to be there than the Associated Press because they wouldn't call it Gulf of America. Next person. This is Eric Bowling asking Levitt if Trump might sue Fox News for their polling. He then calls that a great question because, as we all know, Trump is currently suing other pollsters for polls that they've released that were negative of the president.
Well, fuck.
The free speech president, guys. Free speech. He's a free speech president. Come on, guys.
Is occurred.
Should have came after our video games. Free speech.
Will Fox sue Fox? Will Trump sue Fox for their methodology in polling?
Two great questions. Let me hit the first one first. As for CBS and the White House Correspondents Association dinner, it was laughable. They gave an award to a...
These are questions that are like, why are these the questions you're asking? Again, you're talking... You've just been given the opportunity of left up. Ask about like Yemen. You know, there was a strike recently where a bunch of ASEAN accounts online posted that this mine was actually a secret military base, and the government then struck it with missiles and killed a bunch of civilians because of these ASEAN accounts that just like, sure, this mine is actually a military installation. And it killed a bunch of people. That's a story to ask, hey, where are you guys getting the strike information? It seems you guys have loosened the regulations on civilian strikes in Yemen, and now at least making it so more civilian casualties, you're willing to loosen up the regulations on the strike, which are leading to more civilian casualties. What is the new guidelines on strikes in Yemen, on protecting civilians? Why did we use this ASEAN account? These are like legitimate questions. And if you're an anti-interventionist that all these people have led us, gotta get out of the Middle East. We gotta stop that. These are the type of stuff you would be asking as we're fighting the military-industrial complex. We're gonna be consistent about that. We're going to be consistent about that. But instead, will you sue these people too for their fake polls? But let me show you the worst, okay? Honestly, I don't know if you can get worse than, willing to gun down your fellow Americans because, you politicked bad. But let me show you the type of questions, again, that we're getting instead of war policy, economic policy, consumer confidence, tariff policy. Listen to this.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the honor to be able to ask a question and provide some transparency for the American people. Speaking of, I wanted to reference the election integrity. A lot of people in America are questioning if there's any possibility that we could see further investigations for anyone that could have violated our election integrity rights. And more importantly, so is there any possibility for names such as Barack Hussein?
It's crazy. Anyone who violated election integrity rights, don't name a person because, again, the election wasn't rigged, but whatever.
Obama, Hillary Rodham rights, and more importantly, so is there any possibility for names such as Barack Hussein Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton to ever just possibly get investigated for any of these, questions from the American people, from any of the wrongdoings they might have done?
Well, it's refreshing to actually hear a question on election integrity because the legacy media would never ask such a question. They're so out of touch with
Yeah, they wouldn't ask it because it's stupid. Why? Investigate Obama for what? He didn't even say just election integrity. Trump won in 2016. How Obama rigged the election? He won? That doesn't make, did he rig it for Trump? That doesn't even make sense. Obama did. Obama was not president in 2020 when the big steal, quote unquote, happened. How would he even be the person? Clinton wasn't president either. She lost. Why would we investigate Clinton for election check? She lost the election. How would you investigate somebody who wasn't even president? She wasn't the person dictating the policy. It's just, will you investigate your opponents? Will you investigate the people we hate? Will you wreck the libs? Will you wreck the libs? Will you wreck the libs? And that's the question that she gets instead of real policy. Now, the reason this is disgusting isn't just because we're wasting hot air and time that we could be like getting to the bottom of real issues, but it's also bad because the guy that's here, his name's Dom, and I'm not gonna say, if you want to go look him up, I'm sure you can find out, but I don't want to give this guy any coverage because he is such a degenerate liar. He lies about everything and anything. He's the type of person that'll repost war footage from one place saying it's from another place. Type of person that'll lie about something immediately. I mean, this is the degenerate's degenerate. This guy it's like Alex Jones on steroids when I look at his account. It's just conspiracy drivel. Okay, go check it out. I mean, if he ever, for some reason, want to dispute this, I'd be willing to talk about any of my complaints. I'll gather a gaggle of these tweets. But the reason this guy's a real degenerate isn't just because of the lies about the war in Ukraine, isn't just about the lies about our democracy, isn't just about the daily lies and conspiracy peddling and the addition to division. It's also because this guy reposted CP on Twitter for millions to view. 3.1 million, in fact, with 8,131 retweets, 885 quote tweets, 16,008K likes, and 1,817 bookmarks. Now, let me be clear. That in and of itself is horrific. But that's not the end of the story. It wasn't just that, CP. No. It was also torture. To be clear, it was a video where small children were tortured and brutalized and then done unspeakable things to. And you want to know what this asshole did? He put his fucking logo on the video. He saw that child being brutalized, being abused, being given types of horrors that you wouldn't wish on a grown man. for the entertainment of sickos around the world, and he put his goddamn logo on it, and the president said, "That's my guy. Put him in there. He's a journalist." That's journalism. By the way, this guy was banned off of Twitter for that. It was Elon Musk who went and manually himself unbanned him. So apparently, Elon Musk and Donald Trump thought this guy was a useful enough tool that him reposting CP and child brutalization and sticking his logo on it as if he owned it to make a profit off of these dead kids. That's welcome here in the MAGA movement. Hey guys, we're here to fight the Jeffrey Epstein. Where's the Jeffrey Epstein files, by the way? I saw them. Seemed pretty blacked out to me, Jack Posobiec. You're running around with the files like you were leaking the story of a lifetime. It's not just that this is a propaganda frenzy where right now we're getting North Korea-style coverage of the presidency from the press pool. It's not just that. Press pool is putting it. It's that these people are degenerates that should not be given platforms. The bigger platforms you give these people, the bigger of a mess and damage they will do. How long until this guy does this shit again? Not to mention, like, there's going to be a shooting. There's going to be some terror attack. And what do you think this guy's going to be saying? He's going to be spreading misinformation about it. He's going to be lying about it. What we're doing is we're lying a dishonest hack who's willing to use the bodies of dead kids for profit, put their logos on it. And we're saying this is more respectable journalism than the people who wasn't willing to fall in line on the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico. That's more important than children being brutalized and taken advantage of by this, by God, man. Welcome to White House journalism in the age of Donald Trump. These are people that would never be given an access to power outside of their deep, deep loyalty, and they know it. Dom knows that he's never going to be taken as a respectable journalist with any reputable organization. And so the only way is going to be devout subservience, because the types of things he has done are the types of thing that polite company would keep him away with restraining orders and a 12-foot stick. But those things, that lack of values, that lack of dedication to the truth, that lack of journalistic integrity is every quality you need to be in the White House press pool as a Trump ally. And hey, Trump's press secretary thanked him. Her guy, his guy, the modern press pool. Oof. Man, they really love saying Hussein Obama still, don't they? They really like to emphasize that Hussein